Hello guys and welcome back to another video. As you can see, the GTR is behind me, and by the title and thumbnail of this video, yes, I have broken the GTR already. So if you recall, it's only been on the road about a couple of months after the 2.5 year restoration process. About 4 or 5 weeks ago, we sort of turned the boost up, turned the whole tune up by about 20%, just to put a bit more power in it and have a bit of fun. We then found that the car was misfiring a little bit, so obviously not running quite right, and we sort of left it and I was just cruising around in it. The other week, Matt changed over the coil packs and obviously fixed the misfire issue. So presumably the car making about 700 horsepower, lit up all 4 tyres, all well and good, heaps of fun. Once we'd done that a couple of times, and then I jumped back in the car. Obviously the 275s were quite sticky, quite hot, and when I got up it, I broke the front diff. The next morning we had a cars and coffee with all the GTR friends, so didn't really want to miss that. We pulled the fuse, quite happy cruising around in rear wheel drive. Had a bit of fun doing that, but there was still a bit of a noise. By the time I got home, parked it in the garage, it was dripping a bit of oil. Presumably it was just some metal fragments or small bits of metal that had pushed on the seals in the front shaft, and were causing it now to leak, so I didn't think too much of it. In 4 weeks time, big car show coming up that I entered and was lucky enough to be accepted in, and that is Ace. You might have seen it all over Instagram, but that gives me sort of 4 weeks or just under 4 weeks to get this thing running again, get it tidied up. There's a few little things I want to paint with some imperfections, and I've still got to get the car detailed and ready in time. So I thought I'd jack it up and have a quick look, jump straight in and see what the problem is. And of course, to my surprise, I found what I presume is one of the spider gears out of the diff center sitting on top of my subframe. That's all well and good, but then I wondered how it would get there, and I found what looks to be a decent sized hole in the side of my diff housing. Now, if you're a GTR owner or a GTR fan, you might know that the front diff housing is actually cast in part of the sump. So to remove this properly, I would probably have to remove the engine, remove the sump, get it welded up or change it. That is all well and good, but I also have the high octane extended sump for more oil capacity. So this is going to become quite a timely and expensive process to do so. So I really need to get the diff center out to see how bad it is. Hopefully it hasn't cracked or impacted going into the sump as well. I mean, obviously I haven't driven the car since. Presumably if it had cracked going into the sump, there'd be engine oil in the diff housing and leaking out the hole as well, and there definitely wasn't that much oil. So I really need to get these shafts out, get this center out, and have a look at how bad it is. Perhaps in the meantime, to get by, we'd leave the front diff center out and maybe just put in Matt's half shafts in the knuckles, so I could sort of drive it as a GTST or drive it as a rear wheel drive car and get to the car show, which is obviously the most important thing for me at the moment. And then obviously if I need to order a center, order new gears, I can do so, and I don't have to rush to sort of do that and get it back together. So while I've got this time that the car's sort of off the road or not driving, there's a few little imperfections I do want to fix. Paint's a little bit see-through here, it just won't polish up, and then on sort of around the edges it's a little bit dry. So I do want to get the bar off, do want to get the front bar off, get these vents out, obviously get them repainted, and I have already sort of hit and scratched, cracked the lower lip and scratched the underside, so I do want to get all that tidied up as well. And there's one little imperfection in the driver's side door. Everyone tells me I'm crazy, but the whole car being so amazing, put so much time into it, that little imperfection in the paint just really annoys me. The rest of the car I know can be flattened off, polished and paint corrected. So I'm really not focusing on anything else. So these sort of 3 things, get them off, get it painted while the car's sitting. In the meantime, we can sort of be assessing the diff situation. As soon as we came home and parked the car, Matt came over and took off my throttle bridge. If you remember, all my throttle bodies have been rebuilt, vapor honed, new springs, resealed, the whole shebang, and now the throttle bridge is getting the same treatment. These are the bolts, so we've taken that off, and that's off getting the OCD Motorsport treatment as well. So I'm going to sort of jump straight in. While I get a bit of daylight, I do want to try and drop the oil on this front diff, see how much metal's in it, see if I can see what the damage is. I might even try and take off that front housing for today. But yeah, in this video, obviously strip the parts for paint, get them repainted. Time to jump straight in and get into it. Alright, so as you can see, quite a few chunks have come out of the front diff. All the spider gears there. And then looking up in here, I can see it's smashed that one completely in half, and then obviously hit the bolts, and doesn't look like it's done too much damage from what I can see here. I mean, the gears might be okay. The bolts have definitely got some damage. They might get replaced, but yeah, definitely a new center. The crack in the hole in the sump's definitely going to be the challenge, but hopefully not too much internal damage. And you know, we might just be able to sort of support the engine, drop the subframe, and maybe just weld up that hole. I really don't want to have to replace the whole sump, being that I've got the high octane. Well, I think from memory it's the high octane extended baffled sump there. Gives me another 10 litres, so with that welded onto the sump, I can't remember how much they are new, but to have to buy a sump and or buy another modified sump and a front diff can definitely add up quite quickly. So I'll continue to get the wheels off, get the shafts out, and see if we can get that centre around and have a good look. But yeah, definitely needs to be replaced. Huh. Good news. Found the piece of my sump. On my diff housing, so I'm still trying to get this center out because I'm wondering whether this can sort of be welded back in and repaired without having to pull the engine, but we'll see. Keep going. We'll get this center out and see what it looks like. Well. So we lost that whole spider gear. That one's obviously the one that I've already retrieved from the sump, or what's not the sump, the diff housing, or what's left of it. And then there you go, this bit's about to let go and come out. I mean, it was a matter of time, obviously, when you start making a bit of power, but a bit of damage to these bolts. Hopefully the center itself. Tiny mark on the gears, but you know what? I'm happy with that. I was really expecting these gears to be absolutely shot. Looks like all the damage is sort of in the center. So let's have a look at the diff housing. There's the spider gears I sort of got out previously. And that's the bit of the housing I just found, so bit of damage inside, but yeah, definitely not as bad as what I was expecting. Like I said, I was really expecting the gears to be stuffed. I think the pinion will definitely have to come out and get a clean. There might even be some, yeah, a bit of metal fragments and stuff in there. Those bearings are obviously going to be full of it, so gonna have to get the pinion out, give that all a good clean out this little drive shaft chute and stuff. But hopefully with the little bit of access that we got, we support the engine, drop the subframe. Hopefully we can sort of TIG that back in, TIG the inside, and smooth it all off. Like I said, with this sump and the high octane baffle and stuff, it's just going to be a huge job. Alright, as you saw, I got the diff out the other night. At a bit of an impasse now where I don't quite know what to do. So obviously waiting on parts for the front diff. I need stud axles to put it back together. There's a few little things I want to do, but I do need to get some things painted. Like I mentioned, there's a few little things that just ick me and I want to get them done. So while I've got some time, I reckon I'm gonna get this other door off, then I'll whip the front bar off. I'll show you the imperfection in the door. You're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but it bugs me, and I'll explain why. All right, door is off, and this here is the imperfection in particular I'm talking about. Now, it might be very hard to see. It looks like a scratch, but what that could be was a hair or something in the first coat of clear. So if you remember, or you watched the Resto series, the car got fully painted, and then we did block it back and re-clear the whole car, which is called a flow coat. Gives it an extra layer of clear, extra depth, makes it look more vibrant, and then sort of when you're blocking it back and you're trying to make it shiny and look as amazing as possible, that's what gives you all the material to do so. So that is what we did. It's no one's fault, it's just an imperfection. It's on the driver's side, it's right beside the door handle, so every single time I drive my car, I see it. Now at night time or in the shadows, you don't see it at all. In the daylight, I see it, I know it's there, and that's just me. I'm extremely happy with the whole car. The rest of the car, I love everything about it. This just bugs me. So much time and effort going into it. I know this is there, so I want to get it fixed. Once this is fixed, I'll be extremely happy. And that could just me being a little bit fussy or being silly, like I said before, but that is there. So I'm going to get this door rubbed back. I'm going to get this painted, and I'll get the front bar off, get the lower lip off, and I'll prep the air ducts as well. All right, door's all prepped, blocked all that back. Kept all the body lines in there, so that'll just get a little bit of color, and then clear coated. Just got the bar off as well. All these scratches on the lower lip, it's my own fault, but that's what I want to fix up. So get that off, get this all prepped, get this back in the car, and then get this off to paint. All right, while that stuff's off getting painted, I've still got quite a few things left on this list of stuff to do. So I'm going to swap a few little parts over. If you recall, I borrowed a brand new cowl panel off Matt, because his car's not ready yet, and I've used my old wipers. So I have a package from Kudos Motorsport, of course, brand new cowl panel for Matt to replace the one that I borrowed, brand new wipers, blades, so I want to get them on. At the time, I also borrowed Matt's reverse lights, because I wasn't running any reverse lights. I've had mine re-cleared. I highly recommend this to anyone, even just as a tidy up for your car, or during a restoration process like what we did. Re-clear your lights, lightly rub them back, fresh coat of clear, they look brand new. It's what I've done with my tail lights. If you remember, I'll put a picture on the screen. Now I've done it with my reverse lights, they look brand new. I know a lot of people replace them with the new LED ones, each to their own. I'm not a fan. I'm a very sort of OEM plus kind of guy. So re-clear your lights. And also little package from Frenchies. I've had my blue VIN plate remade. Ordered online, send them a photo of your current one. Mine wasn't too bad, it was just a little bit flaky. So I'm going to put that on. Just another little neat touch. To show that we've sort of put some effort into everywhere. The bay is quite nice, as you guys would know. I didn't really want to put a worn, or I'm not going to say ratty, but a slightly worn VIN plate back up there. So I've got a brand new one with clips. I'll jump straight in, get these bits and bobs on now, cross a few things off the list, keep going through, still lots to do, 2 weeks to go. Alrighty, that made a huge difference. That looks amazing. I'm absolutely stoked with that. And then obviously got the fresh rubber, which I didn't borrow off Matt. So fresh rubber now with the cowl and the brand new wipers. Obviously some handprints, but amazing. It's just those little details that are helping this car come together. Alright, busy week, but painted parts are back. Super stoked with that. Big thank you to Dan for getting that sorted. But doors all been repainted for that imperfection that I showed you guys, my bar vents and the lower lip. So all need to go back on the car. So big day today getting it all together, but still about a week to go, but I still need to put it back together, get it on the ground running, and then off for detail and ceramic coating all this week, ready for next Saturday. So still a lot to do, but I can get through it. So hopefully big day today, we'll get the most of it knocked over. Everything that you'll see in this video. Picked up the stub axles from Matt. So got to get these in, because obviously we won't have a front diff in time. Went to the bolt shop, picked up some new bolts to tidy up a few things in the engine bay. Unfortunately, our vapor hone guy sold his machine and we weren't able to get the bridge rebuilt in time. I might sort of tidy up and try and put it back on. But plan, probably jump straight in, get the mechanical back together, get this thing sort of ready to go back on the ground. And then we'll start putting the front bar and all the painted panels back together. Alrighty, front all back together. Front shaft is out. I put the diff housing front cover back on. I've bolted the other drive shaft back through the sump. So sort of got it all neat and tidy, presentable, and like I said, those stubs are all in. So essentially, no front shaft, no front CVs, just rear wheel drive. The only way to sort of keep the car mobile for the moment, get it to Ace and then get it to the GTR cruise, which is the weekend after. Super excited about that, but I also just lowered the front 10 millimeters. I'll do the rear. Then I can jump straight back in and I want to get the painted parts back on. So just trying to tick things off the list, get the rear lowered now, start putting this bar together, get this on, and then I've got some goodies to throw on as well. Alright, bar all back together, looking good, very happy with that. Took my time, started in the center, got the lip lined up and worked my way out so it's all even. Just got to put the vents in the bar, but first I've got some carbon bits. Alright, so I've got the ab plug carbon front lip. Don't know if I'm going to love it or hate it, but the plan is to put this on. So I haven't even looked at it, I don't know what it looks like, I don't know how I'm going to mount it. So we'll get it out of the plastic, put the bar on and try and get it all together before the bar goes back on the car. Alright, so I've got this ab plug style front lip. Look, it isn't genuine because I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I didn't want to invest in a real one or a top secret diffuser or anything like that if I wasn't going to like it or I felt the car was going to be way too low on the street. I really like the look of it. Definitely the look I'm going for. A bit more low, a little bit more sort of presence or style, I guess. So now I just got to sort of get it all lined up. Looks alright on the front. I thought it would probably come out a little bit further across the front, but that's okay. I've lined the corners up as best as possible. I'm just going to drill the hole through there. There's already a provision in the bottom to drill through. So I'm going to drill that and then I might bolt it in place and sort of see where we're at. And then the other two mounting points are here and they go through into the factory lower tabs that are under here. So I might sort of bolt it all up, see how it fits. See if I want to commit to installing it, and if so, get the bar on the car. Now it doesn't come with bolts, it doesn't come with fitting kits. Genuine ones from Right Hand Drive Japan and stuff like that do come with brackets as well. That will be for the rear of the diffuser under the car to bolt to the subframe. So if I do put it on, I'll get some alloy and I'll make up some brackets as well. But let's get this dummy sat and see what it looks like. Alright, very happy with that. Got it all bolted together now. I put a few extra holes in the top of the carbon fibre lip and just sandwiched it with two washers to the lower lip. So I haven't drilled any extra holes, I've used all the factory holes that are there. The only thing I've modified is the lower lip. So if I don't like it, I can always take it off and my lip is still OEM and fine to run. So I'll get the vents in the bar now. Matt's here, we'll get the vents in and then we'll get the bar on the car, see what it looks like. super tough, absolutely wrapped. I really like the look of that, so glad that all worked out well. After we sat the bar on, took it back off, made a bracket to go in underneath, had some like S-shape alloy, some S-shaped alloy bracket, and I've tucked it in, obviously, bolted it to the bottom, and then sandwiched it up there using the factory power steering mount, and now like this doesn't move at all, so super rigid. I'm happy with that. I have heard that they can flap, because obviously you add a bit of downforce. So with the extra bolts in there and obviously secured at the back, hopefully it's quite sturdy, and I don't have any issues, but we'll wait and see. I do want to put the front wheels back on and get this back on the ground. So I have lowered it, I've now got the lip, and I'm dying to see what it looks like. Jumped on the internet, Gecotech got some 5mm spacers for the front. Any bigger and I probably would have needed longer studs. More so just for this show, I just want to fill the guards out a little bit more and sort of see what it looks like. So throw the spacers on, throw the wheels on, and then I can get this thing back on the ground and see what it's going to look like. Wow, I'm very happy with this. Obviously I need to get it off the ramps and see exactly what it's going to look like, but nah, I really like it so far. I don't want to give too much away from here. I've only got a few things to do. So the door's already on. Matt gave me a lift with that before. Just got to put the door trim on. I'm going to drop the car off to Mr. Sunshine. He's going to do a full paint correction, ceramic coating on the whole car. I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek once it's there, but I really want to sort of hold off showing what this thing looks like until it's absolutely immaculate, and I'll take photos of it and I'll review it at Ace. But if this is the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Obviously there's a lot more to come. We've got a diff to fix now, but nah, really loving the way this car's coming together, or sort of slowly getting finished off with all the little details and stuff. So a few busy weeks ahead. Ace next weekend, so I'll edit the video this week. This will look $1 million for that. Weekend after, we've got a GTR cruise, going for a couple-hour cruise down into New South Wales over the border, ending up at an old distillery and having lunch and stuff with quite a lot of GTRs, so that should be really, really fun. So there's a lot of exciting content to come. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Like I said, I might sneak a little sneak peek of what this thing's going to look like into the end of the video, but if you've made it this long, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.